lecture notes first. Hello. We're going to go through the lecture notes for 2.1 only. And then once we are done, we are going to do the value added questions in the quiz. That is, so it's in question B3. Okay. B3 is just a short version of questions of value added, but give you an idea of how the question comes out. Alright? Okay, so today is so important as I say here, so can we keep quiet? And we can get started.
You're recording it?
Saya tak dengar.
So like,
We all ready? Okay, if you are ready, we can get started. No, you are not ready.
Untuk apa? Sorry.
And the sound level goes up again. Okay. Alright, value added. How is, who's talking there? How is value added related to productivity? Value added is more often than not used as output. Alright, there's many ways to use there's many ways that you can use output in productivity measurement. Am I right? You can use the amount of tonnage or product produced, number of customer service, and all these sort of things. But more often than not, in productivity calculation, we use value added as a representation of output. Alright. In fact, the one that Singapore government use, which is labor productivity, the output part of the productivity calculation is using value added. Alright, value added. VA. VA is defined as the enhancement that a company make to the product or the raw material, before selling it to the customers. In essence, it is the well created. The well created. What do you mean by well created? Well, let's say take for instance in a chemical reaction, you take raw material, phenol or urea, all these sort of things. Raw materials like phenol and urea, they are really cheap. Okay, they are quite cheap. Urea is actually like your fertilizer, this kind of processed fertilizer. It's so cheap, right? But then you react and then you come out with a product, probably like industrial adhesive, and you sell it for so much more because now it has value as industrial adhesive. Okay? And so it's the well created. How much you can sell the industrial adhesive minus away the raw material cost and the processing cost of the raw material. You generate wealth out of something that is more or less quite cheap one, right? Just like crude oil like that. Crude oil by itself, is it useful or not? Crude oil itself is actually icky one. It's just a combination of various organic chain, right? Some is very long chain, some is very short chain, all this sort of thing. But if once they are jumbled up in the crude oil, they are quite useless. But if you can separate all these components into their various constituents, then you can jet fuel, diesel, all this sort of thing, then they have more use separately. Okay? And then you can sell them so much more. So the well created is the differences between the what value that you sell them minus the processing cost. Okay? It is the well created. And as a worker, well created is very important because as a worker, if you create wealth, a portion of the wealth will always comes back to you. Am I right? Yeah. And bonuses and year-end bonus, all these sort of salaries, all these sort of things. So it's very important for workers because you create wealth, you create a lot of wealth, you can be assured that a portion of it will come back to you. Alright? So it is sales minus the raw material cost, goods, and the things that goes into making it, like for you to make industrial adhesive, you need to have electricity, all this sort of thing, am I right? Electricity, you need to rent the premises, all these sort of things, so services. And you also need to market the product, all these sort of things. Otherwise, you can't make the sales. Okay? There you go. Sales minus the raw material cost and the services cost. It is very important for you to take note that at no point did we mention that salary is inside there. We also did not mention equipment cost. Alright? We only say cost of raw material and services. It does not include your wages. Neither does it include the equipment, the reactor that you use to manufacture the industrial adhesive. Why is that so? Why is that so? Don't we need to pay worker to work to create the product? But so by right, the wages should be reflected somewhere. Am I right? But it's not true, because wages is not considered as raw material. Wages is considered as what you do with the wealth. They are the wealth that you created. Alright? One way to understand this is that if you create more wealth, then your wages will be higher, am I right? Because you get more bonus. So wages is not your raw material. Raw material, whether you create more wealth or not, raw material cost is always the same, am I right? Service cost is also always the same one. So wages is more like the wealth portion that you created. Okay, it's not part of your raw material. So that's why I say it only minus the goods and the services. Right? Your wealth created have nothing to do with raw material cost, am I right? Your wealth created has nothing to do with services fees. You still have to pay the same rental. Yeah. So this is only for goods and services, and the money that you earn is actually used to pay for our wages and pay off the equipment costs and whatnot. So they are actually the wealth created. They are actually the wealth created. Nothing to do with the raw material. Okay? This is the first thing that you need to wrap your mind around it. Okay? Can you wrap your mind around it? Can? Excellent. Yeah, okay. Right, there you go. So this wealth created, as we said just now already, is distributed back as what? Wages. It is also used to pay for the equipment, depreciation, all these sort of things. Right? So the equipment is, we don't pay like $100,000 straight away. Every year that is, the money that we earn is used to pay for the equipment. Okay? What else do you do with the wealth generated? You also use it to pay for your interest payment to the bank, because sometimes you need to borrow money from the bank, so there's interest payment. Sometimes you keep a portion of, you give away all the wealth that you generate? No, right? Sometimes you keep a portion of it for rainy day, like today. So today is rainy day, you can take out the wealth that you generated and cover your head with it, build umbrella out of it.
I mean,
Remember, we only talk about cost of goods and services. The more well generated, then obviously there's more bonuses and more dividend payout to the shareholder.
new?
Slipper.
So far so good? Okay. So
Slipper is like a shoe
there you go.
who lost the top part of it.
Just
the
making
sole.
noise now.
Just the sole.
Value added is important because it's well generated. So Singapore is always trying. You read about it all the time. Singapore is trying to make its way up the value added chain. So that means we are trying to get ourselves involved in those industry which create more wealth, which is more. We have bigger profit margin. All right. So it's a value-added chain like that. First world, you hear it all the time. What are examples of high value-added industry, such as what? Who can name me some? Let's start with industry that is low value-added. Low value-added industry that Singapore doesn't want to be what? Can mention. Garment manufacturing, shirt manufacturing, shoe manufacturing, all these things. You buy a Nike shoe, all these sort of things. When they market it, they glamorize it out like nobody's business. But it's actually a low-end product. Most of the shoes, Nike shoes that you wear, they are made in sweatshops in China or third world country, where they have those slave labor, they beat them upside down to death, and then they generate the Nike shoe that you wear. Okay, you pay tons of money for it, but it's just marketing purposes only. All right. So low value will be those garment, furniture. Furniture is like what the hell? Right? IKEA don't make furniture in Singapore, right? They make it somewhere and they ship it to Singapore and they sell it. And then they market it like damn glamorous like that, but IKEA product is actually compressed wood like that. Okay? Yeah. But because we are South Asian and we look at Ammo like, Ammo product, I like. They're just capitalizing on this screwball mentality. What other low value added jobs that we don't want? Low value added that we don't want. What else? Can somebody help me out with this? Education. Are you sure? What else? Somebody help me out here? Huh? I can only remember garment. Huh? Sorry? You are not very helpful today. Yeah, those. Well, why do we not want the low value added thing, guys? Because as we said, the higher the value added actually represent what? The wealth, am I right? The wealth generator. So if we get a very low value added industry comes in, the wealth generator is also very little out of it, am I right? The profit margin is very tiny. Yeah. So if that is so, then the worker wages also will be low. So Singapore will remain as a third world country because the population has no purchasing power. Alright? So we don't want low value added industry because they are just it doesn't help the society move out. So we want high value added industry. High value added industry examples would be what? Bubble tea, yeah, for teenagers, teenagers would be anyway, bubble tea is only just sweets and sugar and whatnot. Like they just seal it out and then sell it to teenagers, dumb teenagers like you.
Exactly.
What else? Okay. A high value added industry will be what? Pharmaceutical. Like one pill like that. You get just one pill. They can one tiny pill, just a few grams. They can sell it for like $5 per tablet. All these sort of things. Exceedingly high value added. Okay. Chemical industry is high value added. You are taking some crude oil, which is like $40-50 per barrel, and when you sell them, if you know the selling price after that is so much higher once they process it. Okay. What other high value added industry? Okay. Service industry like casino, all these sort of things, very high value added. Alright, you get the tourists in, park them in the casino, turn on the vacuum cleaner, suck all the money out of them, then throw them out in the streets already. Right, it's like very high value added. Okay, so the more high value added, the more wealth is generated. The more wealth generated, a portion of it will come back to the workers, a portion of it will go to the government as taxes. So more money for everyone. Government can have more money to build the facilities like hospitals, schools, and stuff like that. Okay, more money for the workers to buy everything you want. Like look at you all like that. My goodness, all the shirt that you wear, all the clothes that you wear, the shoes that you wear. Let me see. Under Armour.
Abi.
Apalah.
What you're wearing is like Nike shoe, sandals, oh my goodness. Guess t-shirt, no, it's like, my goodness, it's like, where do you think this money come from? Parents, because your parents are working in high value added, they got very high value added industry, so they get a portion of it, so they can feed you and whatnot. You think it's a norm? You think it's a norm for you all to be dressed like that? If you ever try other countries like Malaysia, Malaysia, you never see them wear Under Armour or Above Armour or whatever, right? Half the time they buy their clothes from Pasar Malam and stuff like that.
Motherfucker, I am from Malaysia. What's up? What's up, dog?
Because in a lot of these third world countries, they don't have high value added industry. They can't attract this investment because workers are not trained. Workers are not trained. Government is not competent to attract all this investment. Foreign investors don't feel confident setting up plants there. So less of this value-added industry, less well created, less money for everyone. So the people get trapped in this third world environment. Okay. So it's not something that's granted. Okay. There you go. So let's do a simple examples of how value added is calculated. Read through this example first. As usual, I guess the answer is already there, is it? Answer is it there? Oh, goody, here comes the pain. No answer. Alright, there you go. Do you think value added industry just you can just come in like that? Do you think that let's say countries like Cambodia, all this sort of thing, can they attract like pharmaceutical company to go inside there? It's not as simple as that. Everybody wants this sort of very high value added industry, but in order to have this high value industry, the workers need to be trained. All right, the workers do not have this capability of operating this kind of state-of-the-art equipment, this kind of hygiene level. They can't operate, they can't work in this kind of sterile environment and stuff like that. Okay, so education is very important. It's part of the value-added chain. Are you even trying?
No.
All right. Okay. Read the question first. So a product say they sold per ton is 2005 polymeric glue. Alright. The respective cost formaldehyde, raw material 150. Formaldehyde is really cheap. Formaldehyde is the embalming fluid. Another cheap product. Equimass. So 0.5 formaldehyde react with 0.5 tons of phenol to give you 1 ton of polymeric glue, right? The utility cost, everything maybe the repair cost, the rental of the space, the reaction, the electricity or whatever comes up to $50 per ton of product. So if you use the value-added formula just now, what is your sale? Assuming one ton of glue is produced. Alright, you will make 2005. What is the cost of raw material? You will use Equimass, am I right? So 0.5, so it's $75 and $175 of phenol and formaldehyde each. 1 ton of product is $50 of utility. So all this add up together is 175 plus 175 is your goods. Your goods will be $250. And then your raw material is $50. So there will be a cost of goods and raw material. Your sales is this much. So your value added is 2002. So just taking two relatively cheap raw material, ready to get a product, and then you can sell this product for so much higher. Yeah. Formaldehyde by itself is almost useless thing. It's embalming fluid, not very nice thing. Phenol lagi worse. People will pay you money to dispose of it. why it's so toxic. Yeah, and you can re-add it and you can come up with something that you can sell, industrial adhesive, stuff like that. So it sort of like generate wealth out of nowhere. Yeah.
Aduh, butuh saya.
Chemical industry is very value added. That's why government tends to attract a lot of chemical industry. It's not something that every country can do one, because to have a chemical industry, you meet with your SIP or whatever, it's a chemical hub, you know. So it's like your product pipe to my company as my raw material. I re-add it and my product pipe to another company as their raw material. So it's every company is like physically linked to each other. Alright? And you are dealing with toxic thing, flammable thing. So if you want to have a chemical hub, you can't have any cuckoo bird working there, alright? So you need to have security and all these sort of things there. Security must be tight, otherwise you get the sell people, they'll blow up the plant. Not every country can do it one. Alright, so it's not simple as you think it is. So even though Singapore is actually relatively expensive, but company when you still see Jurong Island attracting a lot of chemical investment, yeah, because set up a chemical plant is not cheap; it will take billions of dollars. So they don't mind paying extra for the peace of mind, right? Stable environment, security is there, raw material easily obtained, yeah. Are you done? You are born with 2 hands and 2 legs. Can you maximize the use of your limbs?
Tulis pakai kaki.
Left hand write the first sentence, right hand write the second sentence. The mouth take another pen, write the third line of sentence. Okay. So that is one example of how value added is used. Alright. As we said earlier, value added is a preferred things to be used as output in productivity calculation. Alright. Why do we use? Why do we rather use value added as output for productivity calculation rather than any other thing? Well, number one, it measures the real output. Real output. What do you understand by real output? Real output means the net wealth creation minus away the raw material cost. If you just use the selling price, if you use the selling price, just a sales only, does it tell you how much you are actually making or not? You may say, this product, I sold it for $100, but maybe your raw material cost for this thing is $99, yeah? So you are not really doing any value adding to it, am I right? You just add $1 to it. So it's more better to use value added because it shows you the net wealth creation, right? After minus away the raw material cost, after minus away the services and stuff like that. Alright? If you are going to keep talking, you're going to miss important thing that I will say. Alright? Value added is the net thing. Alright? Not only net means minus away the raw material cost, net also means minus away other irrelevant things that companies sometimes get indulged in their profit and loss statement. So, what are the exclude those lili-lala thing or things that is not related to the organization main activity? It will be like something like investment gain, foreign exchange gain, all these sort of things. Does foreign exchange gain actually show you the performance of your plant? No, right? You're just so happy, you're just so fortunate that in that particular year, that maybe Sing dollar appreciate more, yeah. Or it could be your investment gain. Maybe a company has a subsidiary company, maybe it has another subsidiary company dealing with other things, and that company happen to do well, and they as a subsidiary, the profit come back to you. But does it reflect your own performance? Let's say you're manufacturing industrial adhesive. Does it tell you about the performance of your industrial adhesive activities? No, right? Yeah. So value added is useful because it gives you a very clear picture of how your organization main activity is performing in terms of net wealth creation as well as excluding non-related things. Alright? Sometimes company play cheap by padding up their profit and loss by using all these sort of investment gain, foreign exchange gain, all these sort of things. So the profit seems to be going up, but if you know how to read the P&L, which later you will have to do it, you will be able to calculate actually how much wealth that the company is generating. Right? See through all the bell and whistle stuff the company is trying to formulate. Second is practical. Value added, we are going to use money. Money, yeah. Everything else is money. Is money practical or not? Yeah. I mean, like you can say that, oh, I protect the environment, and then after that you start to them because you have no money to buy food. So it's stupid, right? It's not practical. So everything must be measured in terms of money terms. It is easy to calculate profit and loss. So when it's easy because you can deduce wealth value added from the P&L, which we are going to do that later. Alright, it's not going to be so easy. But once you get the hang of it, it's actually easy. It is an effective communication. Remember what we said just now? Wealth value added is what? Net wealth creation. Am I right? Net wealth creation. If we generate more wealth as a worker, what can you expect? A portion of it come to me, am I right? So if I tell you, okay, this year our value added has gone up, so immediately you know that you're gonna get big fat bonus, am I right? Yeah, so it's there. Are you motivated then? Yes. So it's easy to tell people, right? This on this. There you go. Pay wages, and it can be applied to all industry because end of the day it's all money, am I right? Money. In some company like services company, aircon servicing company, they have no product, am I right? They just send people out to service the aircon. How do you there's no physical thing. But whether it's services or product, end of the day, all is in money, so it is applicable to all kind of industry. We are going into the really dark place now. Alright. We are going into the calculation of value added. Alright. So you want to stop talking and stop walking in and out of my office. Can I get started? Okay, let's get started. Welcome. Alright, everybody keep quiet. Value added calculation. There are two ways where you can calculate value added. Alright, from the profit and loss statement. One method is the addition method. The other method is the subtraction method. So addition method, subtraction method. You need to know everything about value added calculation because when I ask question in your term test, it's just not going to be calculation question. Yeah, I will ask you what is the basis of addition method, what is the basis of subtraction method, all this sort of thing. So you need to know everything inside out. Alright. Now subtraction method, we call it subtraction method because there is a minus here. Alright. As you can see from the equation, it represents the creation of the value added, creation of the wealth. Meaning to say the sales minus the raw material and services cost. So it's the difference will be the creation, the wealth created. Alright. What do you mean by sales? sales obviously the revenue collected lah. Right? It must be related to the company main activity. Company main activity. If you do not want to listen to me later, you get confused. Alright? So it does not include other things else. If you are talking about you are making, you are refining oil, then it has to be refining oil activities. If you are talking about pharmaceutical, it has to be the sales must be your pharmaceutical product. Right? Cannot be like sales of your workers as slave or whatever. Although they generate revenue, but you're supposed to exclude it. Right? Then after that, goods. What are goods and services? These are examples of goods and services. Alright? In many profit and loss, we are not going to list out all the costing. You'll just lump them up as other operating expenses. Other operating expenses will be like your security that you pay for the guard lah, rental costs lah, cleaners lah, office equipment lah, your pen, pencil lah, all this sort of thing. What else? Insurance stuff like that. Okay? You're not going to list down one by one, am I right? I pay $20 for pencil, I pay $30 for a chair. So you're going to lump all of them together as other operating expenses. Okay? Why do we have other operating expenses? Because most of the time expenses is separate into two. One is the services one, we lump them as other. But the main one is actually the labor cost. Labor cost is usually 60% of company expenses. So that will be the main operating expenses. So that's why we put this one other operating expenses to differentiate between this services type and the labor cost, the salary, the wages. The wages will be operating expenses. Okay, that is the subtraction method. Okay, your sales minus your raw material and services. Right. The other way to calculate value added is finding out what do you by adding up what do you do with the wealth created. What do you do with the wealth created? What do you do with the wealth created? Well, you can pay wages, am I right? You can keep some for the rainy day, profit before tax. You can pass some to your shareholders who hold shares to your company and pay dividends and whatnot. The banks, you need to pay them, am I right? Because you take a loan for them to run your operation. What other examples of taxes? You need to pay government taxes. So government just love you to death for being indulging in high value added industry because you generate more wealth, they tax you more. Alright? And other costs are like foreign workers levy, stuff like that. Also equipment depreciation costs. Alright? In P&L statement now, when we buy equipment, guys, if you are very high-tech industry, the equipment can be like billions and millions and dollars, you know. So it's like, are you going to fuck it so maybe 2019 you buy this really kick-ass equipment, it costs you like 10 million. Are you going to put 10 million as a cost for your company in that year? It's going to make your P&L looks bad, am I right? Profit and loss. So industry usually we know that we work on the basis of depreciation. That means you buy a machine 10 million and the machine, the equipment manufacturer will tell you that this equipment is worth for 10 years. So you amortize it. So that means 10 million for 10 years. Each year, the equipment will depreciate by how much? 1 million. So you break up the cost of the machine. Right? So every year you only charge 1 million to the equipment. Yeah? Whatever lah, all adding together lah. Alright, all the, let's say 10 million equipment plus 1 million interest cost then. But that's interest we talk about the bank one, so maybe you don't add it into here lah. Okay. That is why we park equipment. We don't consider equipment as inside your cost of goods and services. Because cost and goods and services, like goods especially raw material, if you produce more product, you obviously use more raw material, am I right? Yeah. But for equipment, whether you got produce more or not, the equipment cost is the same, am I right? So that's why you should totally utilize the equipment 100%. Otherwise, it's sitting idly, it's still depreciating, right? And add up. So the first part, to sum it out, subtraction method is to help you calculate the wealth generated. The addition method is to help you find out. It's working on the basis of what you do with the wealth generated. So whatever is actually calculating value added. So the final answer for your subtraction method and the final answer for your addition method should be the same. Okay? Right. So some of what you do with your wealth, you pay wages, you pay interest to the bank, depreciation cost of the machine, you keep some for the rainy day, you pay taxes and whatnot. Like taxes can be so many forms of taxes, excise duty, levy, what it means all here. Yeah. The indirect taxes will be like GST, like that lah. Alright? Direct taxes will be like income tax lah, all these things. Okay? So there you go. Sales, you move sales over the cost of purchase of goods. So sales will be value added plus cost of goods and services. Alright? Purchases will be like your raw material, utility, rental. Value added, what constitute value added will be all the rest. Labor cost and depreciation of the machine. Yeah? Those two are always very difficult to understand, but they are not part of the cost of goods and services. They are not part of it. They are part of what you do with the wealth generated. Okay? There you go. These are the examples of industry where Singapore wants to help in. Gold sector, you 500 million in value added. What do you mean by 500 million in value added? What does it mean? You generate a wealth of 500 million, right? You generate a wealth of 500 million which can be distributed to the workers, can be distributed to the government as taxes, and more money for everyone. More money for everyone, more money to indulge yourself in things that we always want. What are the things that you always want to buy, guys? iPhone 11. There you go. Once you got a lot of wealth, you can do whatever you want with the money generated. Yeah? There you go. And life will get so much more cozier and stuff like that. But in other countries where they are trapped with the low value added industry, no wealth, they can't buy all this sort of stuff. Okay? There you go. Alright, here comes the... Okay, everyone, let's look at this example here. Now, listen. You want to listen to me because the next example that you are doing is you doing it, not me. So you want to pay attention to this example. Now, this example here is the most jialat example of all. Alright, it's the most extreme examples, because look at this here. It breaks out all the costs. Breaks out all the components into the various components. You have to be able to identify which are raw material, which are other operating expenses, which are wages, which are fees, all these sort of things. Alright? So look at this. Can you calculate the value added based on subtraction method and then addition method? They should be the same for both. Alright, so let's look at this one here. These are the carryover. Okay. Subtraction method first. Subtraction method because there's a minus there. Alright? So let's identify from the profit and loss statement here. This is profit and loss statement here. Where is your sales? Where is your sales? There, I found it! There, 450. Alright, yeah. Yeah. Found the sales. There you go. Right, so proud of myself. Okay. Right, so now you have to look at the statement, find this component, find this component. Alright. Raw material. Goods are like raw material. Where is raw material? Where's raw material? There you go. What is this? Opening cost of sales was how much? Cost of sales. Opening stock was how much? Closing stock was how much? What do you mean by cost of sales? Cost of sales is how much? There you go. 380 here. What does it mean by here? Opening stock was how much? 300. That means in your warehouse, the raw material, stuff like that. Initially, at the beginning of the month, you have $300,000 worth of raw material. Okay? And you along the way, you're going to buy more raw material in them, alright? So during that month, you buy another $300 worth, 300K worth of raw material in. So by right, beginning of the month, I have how much opening stock? I have 200K. I buy another 300K worth of raw material in. So by right, end of the month, I must have how much? 500K of raw material in my plant, am I right? But end of the month, my closing stock is only 120K. So what happened to the 380K? And eat away? Or what? Then now snap his finger, it disappears. What happened to the differences? By right, you have 500K of raw material at the end of the month, am I right? By end of the month, I only have 120K. What happened to the differences? 380 is used to make the product lah. Okay, it's used to make the product. So that is 380K cost of raw material. Yeah. Cost of raw material, obviously you need to consider how much you have in the beginning of the month, how much you buy raw material for that month, closing of the month, how much is that. So the difference must be how much raw material you have used up to make the product. Can you understand that? Fair enough. This is the most X-rated of all the P&L. It's really very complicated. But in your assessment, very easy one. You don't get freaked out by this P&L. Alright, that's only the goods. Let's look at the services now. Now, from your P&L here, where are the services? What are services, guys? What are the utilities? Am I right? Utilities are your services. Office supply, pencil lah, all this sort of thing. Waste paper basket lah, papers for printing lah, all these services. Transport lah, rental lah, repair lah, all these sort of things. When you want to sell the product, obviously you need to do marketing, am I right? So marketing fee, then the audit fee, like your product, how you get the safety certification that your product is like CSAIL or UL labeling, UL certification that is safe. You need to send it to the independent lab to do testing, am I right? To get that safe labeling. Yeah? So you need to pay all these auditors fees as well. Or other thing like ISO certification, you also need to pay auditors fees, stuff like that. And other operating expenses lila thing what other lila thing that you can think of beside all these things? Maybe along the way some do some painting lah to your company or whatever lah, some extra operation So add it all together, you will get this one here. Now, do you notice what is not included in your addition in your subtraction method, guys? Staff cost. What is staff cost? Wages. Wages. We say very early. Wages is not part of your raw material. Wages is your what you do your wealth. The more wealth you created, the more wealth you have to be distributed. Staff welfare. Staff welfare like Like TP 25 years, so everybody get a thumb drive. So it's like welfare, this sort of thing. Money comes from somewhere, am I right? This is included in the wages, wealth distribution. You have to pay some money to buy all this sort of thing, am I right? Taxes and interest that you pay to the bank. Yeah. If you don't generate any wealth, how can you pay any interest to the bank, am I right? What else? Depreciation cost. Remember, it's not. Equipment is not. Directors' fees is part of wages also. Directors are also classified as workers. So add it up together. This one minus 380 minus goods and services, so you get 42,300. Clear? Okay. Why don't you bring up the lecture notes one? You're not student of TP. You don't have access to LMS. Caught you! Student from SP. It's all inside your. Is it not inside your? Is it not? Alright. So that's subtraction method. Now let's move on to the addition method. The addition method is what do you do with the wealth generated? Alright? If I add back all the things that I used to get to spend away all my wealth generated, it must add up to the value added, am I right? Yes. If I give you $5 and I give you $10, if I add back $5 and $10, that's $15, that will be the money that I have, am I right? So you can actually calculate how much value added by adding back all the money that I splurged away. Yeah, so that is addition method. Adding back all the money that I splurged away. That will give me the idea of wealth generated as well. So pay attention here, because here comes the things that you need to. There's something that you need to understand here. Now, labor cost can include all these things: staff cost, welfare, director fee, stuff. Now, you must take note of this thing: profit before tax. Profit before tax here. This profit before tax here. Where's profit before tax, guys? Is this here? All right. Now, if you notice, profit before tax is the net. It's the net. Where you get the net? I get my income here. How much here? 70 plus 10, 80. Then minus less my expenses. What's my expenses? Add up together 77 plus another non-operating expenses 1, so 78. So my income was 80, my expenses was 78, and therefore the balance is by 2,000. That's my profit before tax. So far so good? Make sense? How I get profit? Profit is just how much my income minus how much my expenses are. So how much my income, these two income add together, less my operating expenses. What are all my operating expenses? All here, plus non-operating expenses 1 year. So I get a residual of 2,000. Okay. So far so good? Are we clear about that? Alright. But my profit before tax here is affected by some irrelevant thing. Remember, we only want to focus on the organization main activities here. It's being affected by some irrelevant things, such as what? Non-operating income, non-operating expenses. The name already tell you, non-operating. So it's not from your organization main activities. It's not from my main organization activities. But it's there, and it's messing up my profit before tax. You notice that the 10K actually messed up my 10K and 1K actually affected the why it was 2,000. So it's messing up my profit before tax. Alright, so I need to tweak my profit before tax to exclude these items. I need to tweak my profit before tax to exclude this item. What makes the profit before tax looks good here? What makes the profit before tax looks good? The 10,000 non-operating income, am I right? It's actually making my profit before tax looks good, am I right? So I don't want it. So what must I do? I must minus away, minus non-operating income. And you need to get your big head around this thing, yeah? Minus away income. Most of the time income added in, am I right? But now because it's non-operating and it's making my profit before tax looks good. And I don't want them, I only want to focus on my main activities. There to get a good reflection of my company performance. So I must minus away non-operating income. Can you get your head into the hole? Try. Try to force it in, okay? Try to get this concept right, huh? Yeah? Now what's making my profit before tax looks bad? Looks bad. Then it shouldn't be. Non-operating expenses, am I right? Non-operating expenses is making extra 1,000 here, that's why it's 2,000. But it's non-operating expenses, it has nothing to do with my main activities. So what must I do to my non-operating expenses? I must add it back. So you must add back the non-operating expenses. Although it's expenses, but you must plus it back in. Are you clear about that? It's easier for you to listen to me, but when you actually get down to doing it, you will start asking questions. So you must understand it. You only want to focus on the organization main activity. That's point number one. Point number two is that profit before tax. That's why I highlight in red there. It's been messed up by other things. Profit before tax is like the net value after you do your income minus all your expenses. But it's been messed up by those irrelevant figures that has nothing to do with your main activity, such as non-operating income, non-operating expenses. So you must find a way to add them back in or exclude them. Alright, it's non-operating expenses. It's making my profit before tax looks actually worse than it's supposed to be, am I right? Because it's expenses. So I must add it back in. Get it? I shouldn't be taking into consideration non-operating expenses, am I right? It has nothing to do with my main activities, but it's making my P&L look bad because it's expenses, so I must add it back in. Alright? So you add it back in and you get $42,300 and there you go. It should be the same as your addition subtraction method. And you need to know why you need to minus away non-operating income, and you need to know why you add back non-operating expenses. Because I will ask, because in 20 marks question, you can expect me to ask you about every damn thing. Like which hospital bed your mother was occupying when you gave birth to you. Right? Like, yeah. What was the milk powder that you drink when you were young? So everything you will be asked. Are you clear about this? Alright, if you are clear about this, then show me that you understand.
Shit, I didn't drink.
What do you need?
Show me you understand by doing this calculation. This one is the 6-mark question only because it is relatively easier. You can notice the P&L here is much simpler than this guy here. Okay, give it a try. We set a time, 10 minutes to do this, 3:05.
Which is the sales?
Huh?
Which is the sales?
What do you say?
Which is the sales? So, which is the sales?
Huh?
Which one is the sales?
Sales.
Yeah.
Revenue ah.
Revenue.
Ah.
Revenue end.
Should be revenue. This is the question. Wait, hold on. Sorry. Okay. This is quiz 1 year 16-17 productivity improvement.
If you cannot follow the lecture, the LMS that is there,
Question
so you can go back to LMS. I explain again using another. I mean, I still mean a training, but you probably can pick up some other explanations there.
What? Oh.
Next week is Flex Week, so you just go and catch up with all the LMS lecture, the e-lecture that we have there. Come, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. Once we done this, we that's the end of the day, as you say, value added plus this one question here.
Or is it the cost of sales? Is it revenue or cost of sales? All whatever lah. Cost of product. Cost of product. Thank you, Russ. Distribution okay, cost of sales is that one. Oh, sorry. Itu yang gross profit.
Have you finished the subtraction method first? What is subtraction method? Subtraction method is sales minus what?
Cost of product.
Where's your sales, guys?
Revenue.
Sales obviously is your revenue lah. Alright, sales is your revenue, minus away what? Cost of goods and services. What is your cost of goods? Must be the cost of sales lah. Alright, what is the cost of sales here? Cost of sales will be like your raw material cost like that lah. This one here minus, and services. Services will be what? One will be your marketing cost, the other will be your utilities and services and all these things now. What are they? Distribution expenses, am I right? You have to minus away these services here. What else? Now, do you notice the admin expenses and other expenses? Now, remember we always say that we minus away what, guys? There's a differences between other operating expenses and staff costs. Alright, staff costs. Alright, we tend to separate this because you need to calculate your value added. So, and we always say staff cost is the bigger one, am I right? 60%. So which one of these do you think is the staff cost? Admin expenses. So other expenses would be your utilities, rentals, security guard, toilet cleaner, stuff like that. Okay, okay? Minus away. Alright? And don't forget, they are all in terms of what? Thousands. So end of the day, 177 minus your raw material, minus your services. Either marketing expenses or other things like power supply, water, all these sort of things. What do you all get, guys? What do you all get? Somebody shout out the figures.
11818.
Sorry?
11818.
118, are you sure? Yes. 3, 9, 8, 2, 6.
Jauh apa?
0, 0, 0. Now, I give you one small advice. Okay, do you want to listen to one small advice from Zexio? If you want to listen to advice, can you keep quiet? Now, when in doing this sort of value added calculation, when you do this, circle them out and then leave them as it is. Alright? Because later on, when you use the addition method, obviously you're not going to use all this value back again, am I right? Yeah, so that means you don't want double count, you don't want to reuse again, so leave them as it is and then use a separate pen, like green pen here, to do your addition method. Alright, it's advice from Jetsu, which obviously rebellious teenagers like that won't listen to me lah. Alright? But it helps a lot, it helps a lot. So by doing this, I know what are the elements, components that I'm not supposed to reuse again, otherwise double count. Alright. Now let's get started with the addition method next. What are addition method, guys? Addition method are what I do with my wealth. I have splurged them away. So let's add back all these components of wealth that splurged them away. Add them back in, they should give me the same value, 39,826,000. What do I do in my wealth, guys? What do I do in my wealth? I pay my staff. I pay my staff. Okay, okay? What else do I do with it? This is a very simple P&L. What else do I do with it? Apparently, I don't do any more things. I just, after spending it to my staff, I also keep some for the rainy day. Yes, yes, yes? And that's about all that I do with it. Yeah. So you see, here in this case, everything is consolidated. Try looking at this one. This one is the X-rated one. It's like all error, so it's harder for you to interpret. This one is much simpler. But unfortunately, what do we say about profit before tax? Profit before tax is what we do. How do you get that? How do you get 12,000 here, guys? How do you do it? What do you do here? It's a net, am I right? Here, this one here, result here, you see the draw a line here. 41,000 minus away all these expenses. This one here, you get this one here, then you minus, then you plus this one, finance income, then you get this one here. So profit before tax. But because of that, profit before tax has been messed up by irrelevant items that is not related to your organization activities. Such as what? Such as what? Other income. Other income. Like the CEO is a model, so he go and take part in Manhunt final, he win $1 million of prize money. Other income. But it is making my profit before tax looks good, am I right? But the word other already suggests to you, is it related to the organization's main activity? No. So what must I do with it? It's making my profit before tax looks better than it should be. So what must I do with it? Minus away. Alright? It has also affected by finance income. Like I loan money to somebody else, he don't pay out, I go to his house, I beat the crap out again, and then he cough out 193,000 to me. Right? Is it anything to do with my company main activity? No, but it's making my profit before tax looks better than it's supposed to be, am I right? So I only want to look at things that is my organization main activity. Alright? Take note guys, finance income is not related to your company main activity. But interest paid to the bank. Interest paid to the bank is part of your main activities, because you use the wealth to pay off the bank interest. Why do you take the bank interest in the first place? To buy for equipment that is relevant to your main organization activities, am I right? Yeah. So finance income is not. Like you put the last year profit before tax put into the bank, then you get the interest payment. But it's not related to your main activities, am I right? So what you do? Add back everything. So you add back your admin expenses with your wages and your profit before tax. So that's what you do, your wealth generated. But your profit before tax is affected by finance income and is affected by other income. So you have to minus these two away. And what do you get, guys?
398.
You also get 39826,000. Are they the same? They should be the same. Because the first part is calculating the wealth generated. The second part is calculating, adding back what you do with your wealth generated. It should add up to the original one, am I right? There you go. So I want you all to go back today and go this and revise through it. A lot of new concept there. But as I say, try to force your head into the keyboard there. Wrap your mind around it. A lot of new